Good afternoon, Pearl Jam community. I'm here with Krzysztof Domaradzki, who just came out with one of the most sought after Pearl Jam posters this weekend at Ohana Festival. And we're here to talk to him a little bit about his career and what other posters he's done and maybe what's on the horizon. So welcome, Krzysztof, and I apologize that I'm not saying it correctly.
Well, you've done a great job. Thank you for introducing me. Hello, everybody. Great to be here.
Well, so I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about your background so that everyone knows a little bit about you. And then we're going to go into talking about how you started focusing on silkscreen posters.
Yes.
So Krzysztof is an artist, a graphic designer, and an illustrator. He works in various fields of graphic communication in Poland. And after receiving his master's degree in drawing and etching from the Academy of Fine Arts, he moved on to creating illustrations and storyboards for advertising agencies and making his first steps as a graphic designer. In 2006, he started his own company, Studio KXX, and established a name for himself by working for various global brands, small businesses, and private projects. He has done identity and branding projects, website designs, covers, book illustrations, t-shirt designs, and exclusive Blu-ray releases. Recently, as we were just talking about, he has primarily focused on created limited edition silkscreen posters, and he seeks to combine his fondness of drawing, love for film and typography, minimalistic design, and attention to detail. His favorite tools are pencil, ink pen, and digital paint. His work has been published in many design books and magazines, as well as featured on multiple online platforms. And he has a myriad of clients, well-known clients that he has worked for. And today we're just going to talk to you about when your interest in art began, and then how did you get to start focusing on the silkscreen posters?
Okay. Thank you for the introduction. So it's kind of hard to answer the question when it all started, because basically when I was born, I was drawing. Me and my twin brother also, we were drawing ever since we can remember. Of course, we were. I was, but since we are twins, I sometimes use plural. I was always drawing, always interested in coloring. Then I got really interested in comic books. We didn't have that many because back then Poland was under the communist rule, but still we did get a glimpse of Spider-Mans and stuff later when it the system changed. So I really got into that, and ever since I knew, ever since I was a young child, I knew I wanted to pursue the art career, so to speak. My mother initially suggested that we should, again, me and my brother, that we should maybe finish like a normal high school in case we change our minds, so that we have like a basic education in case I want to be a doctor or somebody. But it hasn't changed. So right after high school, we went to the academy, and that's where I and him, we both gained more experience in all the old techniques like painting, small sculpture and stuff. So the interest was always there for me. I always loved it. I always knew that once you do what you love, you don't really work like in that sense. I work really hard and many hours a day, but it brings me joy. So it's not really that hard. And as far as the silkscreen posters go, well, the story is that I believe it was maybe 2009. I would have to double check. I was first approached by Mondo, and I did one poster for them, then another, which was rejected because of the Marlon Brando estate. Long story. But back then, I realized, I always loved film. And I was always very much, right after the academy, I was very much into typography, design. So the posters, to me, are a great combination of two things I love doing most, which is drawing and typography, layout, graphic design, elements, and all incorporated into one thing. And given the fact that I also love movies, and most of the ones I do poster for are the ones I really enjoy or have seen many times, it's like a perfect
Right.
perfect job, which is doing something that you really love. So yeah.
So did you first start with your posters for Pearl Jam for the Krakow show in 2018, or did you do any prior to that?
No, I have not done any posters for Pearl Jam before 2018. And let me just say, maybe not all of you know that I was a huge, I'm still am a fan, but I was a super huge fan in high school. I was, all through the 90s. I was like only Pearl Jam. I was listening to all the songs, memorizing all the lyrics with a friend of mine, and you know many years later, uh, I received this email from a person who's responsible for like all the merchandise for various bands, including Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder. And he reached out and said, "There's a concert coming up in Krakow. Would you like to do one?" And I was like overwhelmed with the news. I mean, a dream come true. Like, it, I'm sure you can imagine that first you're listening to music and you're like, Eddie is a god to you, like a poet and everything, and then the same person is replying, almost replying to your emails, because I'm not corresponding directly with him, but through that person who says, for example, Jeff really loves your design, or Ed is really like into Oana. So I'm like, is this really happening? I'm always I'm
Right.
pinching myself every time it happens. But yes, the Krakow poster was the first one, and ever since then, I get the chance to work for them. Yes.
Did you get to go to the Krakow show?
Come again?
Did you get to go to the Krakow Pearl
Yes,
Jam show?
yes, of course I did. Basically, the one of the elements, or how do we say, advantages of working for a band is that once they are in the city that you made a poster for, you're more than welcome to be there as a VIP. So I attended with the friends that I mentioned, and it was great. Absolutely
That
great.
was it was probably my favorite show that I've ever seen. I
Have you
I
been,
lo-
have you
I
been there?
did. I went to that one and I loved it. I loved the set
There's,
list. It was awesome.
there is some. I mean, Pearl Jam is known. I'm sure you all know, famous for their concerts. Like they win awards for best concerts. I have no issue with it. I mean, I'm totally for it. They deserve it. But in Poland, there's this I don't know, revolutionary kind of freedom loving vibe, I guess, that really sparks with Pearl Jam, at least in my opinion.
Right.
And many people say what you just did, which is that concerts in Poland are kind of specific, like really, even for a Pearl Jam standard, are really great.
Yeah, the energy was amazing for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So with that poster, I was so interested in the story behind the basilisk. Is that the same as the dragon that's supposedly
Oh,
in the castle, or is that something that was
not
different?
at all. It's a funny story, a kind of a bit longer one, but I will try to keep it as short as possible. I mean, I'm sure all around the world there are various legend, myths, and stuff. So in Poland, we also have quite a few. And basilisk is usually more related to Warsaw, which is the capital. But it just so happens that also in Krakow it appears in few like legends or stories. The most popular one is what you just sort of hinted, which is the Wawelski dragon, the dragon from Wawel, which is like a castle and stuff. And it's a beautiful story about a dragon that was killed by a very smart guy who simply gave him a sheep with sort of poison inside the sheep. The dragon ate it and died. It's a different story. While the basilisk is, like I said, it exists in mythology from Warsaw and also in Krakow, sorry. And the story is that this monster, as we would call it, it is able to turn everybody who looks into his eyes into a stone. Uh, and I also described, I made a longer description on the poster itself at the back, that every 7 years this monster is hatching from eggs that are being with frogs and snakes. I don't remember all the words that I need to say now to make the story really clear. But long story short, it is a monster. It is somewhat related to Krakow, probably a bit more to Warsaw. And when I first came up with this idea, because later on I found out that many fans didn't like it. They said it was horrible and stuff. When I first came up with the idea, I'm not sure if you know this, but I can tell you, I sometimes read through comments, which is a bad idea usually, and then there was some of what the backlash over this idea, whatever. But my idea was to do something rock and roll, like for Metallica you can do skulls and stuff. So why not for Pearl Jam something more gory, a bit gory, of course, but still I believe it's really nice. I wanted it to be in grayscale to convey the changing into a stone and stuff. So it's just...
I thought it was really cool. So for what it's worth.
I also think it was pretty cool. But lesson learned, I'm trying to listen to to feedback, even if it's like harsh sometimes. So what I did next with every single other poster I was doing for other bands and Eddie Vedder, they had more color in it, at least.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, let's talk about the Ohana poster. So for those fans who haven't seen all of your work yet, you add so much detail into your artwork. Initially we look at that poster from this weekend and we're like, oh, that's such a cool Volkswagen van. But then if you look at all the detail, there's so much detail that you could study that picture, for so much longer than just looking at it. So how did that idea come to be, and how did you incorporate all that detail? Did somebody have the vision for you, or did you say, here's what I'm going to do?
Thank you for this question and the kind words. Well, it was always my goal in general to create what you sort of just described, which is a poster that from first glance is working as an image and an artwork, something like nice colors, nice composition, whatever. But as you approach it closer and closer, and you get to really dive into the details, you find all this other things hidden inside, or other meanings at times, Easter eggs also. I often hide these things. So the great thing about Pearl Jam, and generally with a lot of my work, most recent work, is that I have almost total freedom. Like with movie posters, for example, people just want me to do a poster, which is both great and also sometimes overwhelming. Like I could use some guidelines at times to make it easier. But with Pearl Jam also, the great thing about them is just do your stuff, Krzysztof. Maybe they said, for example, at some point back in time in 2018, they suggested I shouldn't be doing lettering that is hard to read, or possibly no lettering of band names, because if anyone has trouble reading it, it doesn't work. They had some issues in the past with other artists or whatever, so I should be avoiding it. But as you may know, for example, with Gigaton or now with Ohana, I sort of didn't bother to follow that direction, and so there's like total freedom, basically. And in the brief, all I knew was that the festival took place in California, and if I could convey some of the surfer, free beach living vibes, that would be great. So that's a very loose direction, but sort of, yeah, it's there. And I came up with 4 ideas. I usually do less than that. For example, for movies, I sometimes do only one. Very good, in my opinion, a very good idea. But here I had 4 ideas. I went pretty wild with 2 of them, like some LSD vibes also came in. I was looking for some crazy colors and reefs and stuff, but they didn't like it. They liked the first one I pitched. The first one I liked also most, which was the van. And as you said, when you look closer, there are lots of other stuff that I hid in there, like there's the quail, the symbol of California, the bird. There are the puppies, I believe, the flowers also. Of course, surfers in the windshield. There's a taro plant. I believe that's what it's called. It's taro is derived from Hawaiian language. It means family. So I put it in, and of course, Oana is also from this sort of tree of words, so to speak. So there's that, and I hit a few more that I encourage people to try to find. But
good. I'm gonna have to look more closely.
Come again?
I'll have to look more closely.
Yes, please do. Once, if you have the poster, go ahead and do it. Also, I forgot to say that, of course, I included the band's names. That was like the whole idea. The very first thought I had, I told my wife, I think I'm going to go for this sort of simple idea of having a van on the beach, which is very iconic, very 70s freedom. Let's have a beer and surf some. I haven't done it, but I would wish I could. And once I got that idea and I realized that how the Volkswagen van looks like, I was like, okay, we have a perfect. Sorry, because something is calling me here. I have a perfect solution for band names right now. And initially, in the middle, I had the Pearl Jam dude from 10 album. You don't see my arms, but the one with the arms like this.
The Stick Man.
Yeah. What's his name?
Stick Man.
Yes, I had that guy, but the feedback was too much Pearl Jam related stickers, and because I love Pearl Jam basically, only Pearl Jam, but whatever. So I was like, okay, let's go with the others as well. So we moved some stickers around, but I still managed. I'm not sure if anybody noticed. I've still managed to place Vitalogy on the surfboard. Of course, only parts of it, but that's Vitalogy, which is one of my favorite albums of it.
Yeah, it is. It's such a cool image. I've only been able to see it through what's been posted online, but I think I mentioned earlier, there's been a lot of disappointment with people not being able to get the poster because obviously it's sold out pretty quickly. I checked today and it was selling out again like crazy. So are you going to have versions of it or anything that might be on your site for sale later?
Yes, I have been already approached by quite a few people sort of saying that they had problems because they were standing in line and somebody was buying 10 posters or something. It's kind of weird, but it's beyond me. I don't have nothing to do with it actually.
Right.
So the good news is that I am receiving 100 copies of the same poster, except one color is changed. I'm showing both versions on my Instagram account if you'd like to see. The only difference is basically the orange color changes into more gold-ish tone. The rest is the same. And once I receive them, and I already received an email confirming that the package is ready to be sent, but it may take even a month or even longer with the COVID restrictions and all that craziness. So once they reach me, first thing I do, I post information that I have just received them. I'm getting ready to, purchase tubes and stuff and be announcing the drop soon. And once I announce the drop, it hopefully will be clear under the link guiding to my shop where you'll be able to purchase. By the way, I know you can answer. Everyone who's listening to this or watching this won't be, but I wonder if it's better to make it obligatory for a person to purchase only one copy, or should I also leave it up to people to buy as many as they want? I believe the first solution is more fair, but what do you think?
Personally, I think it's probably one copy per person, yes. But I
will, because before I was doing exactly that, and I will do it the same this time as well. So,
yes. Okay, great. So just to wrap up our interview, what in your career so far as an artist, what are you most proud of? And then if you could let us know maybe if something's on the horizon or something that a goal that you have that you're looking forward to accomplishing. So it's kind of a two-part question. So what are you most proud of first?
It's I get that question a lot, but my answer usually is like this. It's like choosing which child is the best. And of course, after that, I usually do say which posters were really like a milestones for me personally, which contradicts what I just said about children. But basically, I really, I mean, I wouldn't be sharing artworks that I'm not proud of. So yeah, that's one part of the answer. While the other, there are some posters that mean a bit more to me because they've opened up either doors for me in terms of clients and stuff, or for me personally, it felt like something like really different from others and something I should pursue, something I should further explore. So, and these would be probably the Blade Runner poster, which wasn't the first one where I used typography as a base, but the first one where there was both typography, some futuristic craziness, also some comic book vibes, all of that. So, and also definitely Pearl Jam, because you can work for Nike, and I did. I can work for Pepsi and other big clients, but it's fun, but they are big clients. Move along. But Pearl Jam is not only like a big client, but it was my favorite band. I was crying listening to this music. I was laughing. I'm mostly crying. So it's a dream come true. So it was very, very important to be able to work for them. And every time it repeats, I can't believe it. How lucky I am. And as far as the second part of the question with the future, I probably can't disclose too much. So all I can say is that I hope to be doing more work for Belgium and other bands in future. That's one thing. But my dream, or two dreams connected sort of to each other, is to maybe do a graphic novel at some point, like a really major graphic novel, like this huge book, Akira size. But of course, it's only a dream. And the other would be to have been able to be able to direct a movie maybe at some point, preferably based on a comic book that I did. But
that would be awesome.
Who knows? One can dream. But I have already, my life as this now, I can already say, I'm ready. God, I'm ready if anything happens, because I am already in a place where I can say that I've done most of the things I wanted to do. I have great family, great wife, lovely children. Professionally, I'm also where I always dreamed I would be. So this is great life.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. Well, we love your poster, and hopefully some lucky people will be able to get a copy of it if they weren't able to get one this weekend. And if people want to follow you, they should go to your Instagram account, correct?
Yes.
And
I think it's
also
the best place, because that's where only the images are, and hopefully images speak for themselves. And if you want to, read more, or just be bothered by Zuckerberg, you can go to Facebook as well. But I also have a website with a shop where you can always try to visit as well. So yeah.
Okay, and can you remind everyone the website?
The website is www.studiokxx, altogether. KXX is maybe a bit tricky, but studiokxx.com. Pretty simple. It's a funny story about the name, but maybe some other time.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate your time, Krzysztof, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of your work in the near future.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I'm sorry for my English at times. It's not my language I was born with, but I'm doing my best.
Oh, you have excellent English. So
thank you. And you're Polish. The way you pronounce my name is also really good. So respect.
Okay.
I know. Maybe I don't know because I'm Polish, but I still know that my language is probably one of the hardest out there. So
okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, and have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you so much, and take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.